Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this water issue briefing. We're going to be talking briefly about green infrastructure and stormwater prevention. So my name is Jamie Lynn McDonald. I'm a climate change project coordinator at ACAP St. John. We're a nonprofit based in St. John, New Brunswick. I am originally from Southwestern Ontario, but I moved to St. John over 3 years ago now to work on climate change adaptation work. And I've been doing that alongside Bailey Brogan for the past 3 years. She has been critical in the development of climate change adaptation plans for the city of St. John and for surrounding areas. And we've been working together now on implementing some of the adaptation actions with a strong focus on green infrastructure. To date, we've completed 3 rain gardens. We've done a deep pave, and we've also going to be completing another garden this year. So what are we talking about when we say green infrastructure? So green infrastructure is a way of managing water that mimics natural processes. So basically, we're trying to recreate the natural systems, restore the natural water cycle that often gets interrupted by urban settings. Now, these processes are not new. They've been going on for as long as we know. But as there has been a lot of new research published that begins to quantify the processes and provide values for stormwater management as one of these benefits of GI, when we start seeing these economic values is when we start seeing more and more investment in green infrastructure. So federally, municipally, and even private funding is starting to become more available for these types of projects in the Maritimes and also across Canada. Now, green infrastructure can take many different forms. It can have a lot of different sizes. So we can be looking at small scale or large scale. In this photo on the screen, there's a picture of a rain garden on a residential property in Sackville, New Brunswick. And this is one example of green infrastructure, but we also include restored wetlands, engineered wetlands, green roofs, green walls, stormwater ponds, bioswales, and these are just naming a few. And as green infrastructure is becoming more and more common, we're starting to see a lot of new ideas coming out. So these green infrastructure projects are natural, but they do often work in conjunction with traditional stormwater infrastructure, whether it's drainage networks or sewer systems. And that's what we call hybrid infrastructure. So similar to green infrastructure, they work to manage stormwater in a more effective way by using nature and natural processes. So this next slide here is a video that we put together about some of our work in St. John. It gives a good overview of stormwater management issues and how it relates to GI.
Managing rainfall in St. John, New Brunswick. Managing stormwater in urban settings is extremely challenging during periods of heavy rainfall. When this rainwater has nowhere to go, it ends up flooding into our sidewalks, driveways, park spaces, and even our basements. As our climate changes, heavy rainfall events will become more common. At the Social Enterprise Hub, ACAP St. John has installed 2 methods to manage stormwater. The first is a rain garden installed at the side of the building to capture the water that was running down the steep slope right into the storm sewer and into the sidewalk. The second method is a rain barrel system with 2 rain barrels set up to capture runoff directly from the roof. These methods are just one example of how we can adapt to climate change. Visit acapsj.org for more information. Thanks for watching.
So that video really just brings some ideas together that I've already mentioned. Oops. Just moving past that now. What is really the issue that we're having when it comes to GI? It really starts to come to light when we think about increasing rainfall. So we know that the data is starting to show that there is going to be an increase in annual precipitation. These charts are from St. John, but they look very similar for other cities in the Maritimes and across the country. We're starting to see that there will be more rain days. and less snow days. The decreasing snow days actually aligns with the temperature projections that indicate that there'll be more rain during the winter. So this is a big stormwater management issue. And the challenge is that more water requires more management. So right now we've got a lot of aging infrastructure, some of which is already being overwhelmed by the current rainfall amount. So we can only imagine how these challenges are going to become, it's going to become more increasingly important to manage this water as time goes on. So GI, we know, is necessary to help battle these issues of changing precipitation. We know that GI provides many services, not just stormwater retention, but also air and water filtration, habitat creation, improved aesthetics for the community spaces. And we know that they're typically lower cost and lower maintenance than hard infrastructure. And some of the challenges are coming out is around the long-term maintenance and the longevity of these GI. So we know that they're cost effective. We talked about the services. We know that we need to have a lot of GI in order for it to be effective, and the maintenance is our barrier. And that's where I want to pose this question to you. How can we improve GI maintenance and care practices to ensure long-term stormwater management? And here's a few links for you to look up to think about this question a little bit further and get some ideas of how we can use green infrastructure to protect our communities and our neighborhoods long-term from the challenges of climate change. Thank you.